Example 7 says find all the solutions of that equation there in the interval from 0 to 2 pi. So guys, we're going to put together what we just did in like 5.3 with what we've just learned in the beginning of this. So the first thing I notice is right here I have the cosine of two angles being added, and then right here I have the cosine of two angles being subtracted. And in the middle there, it's telling me I'm going to do what to them? Add them. All right? So let's separate them individually. So this is cosine. The first one is cosine of x plus pi over 2, which means that's my u and that's my v. So cosine of u plus v says cosine of u, cosine of the v, minus sine of the u, sine of v. Then the equation above has the plus sign there. Then we're going to deal with the cosine of x minus 3 pi over 2, where there's my u minus my v. So the formula for cosine of u minus v is cosine of u, cosine of v, plus sine of u, sine of v. And then the problem above says it's equal to 1. Alright, so now that we've got that, let's take this plus sign here and let's distribute it into that second parenthesis. And let's get rid of all of our parentheses. So we have cosine of x, cosine of pi over 2, minus sine of x, sine of pi over 2. Now I distribute, I get plus cosine of x, cosine of 3 pi over 2, and then plus sine of x, sine of 3 pi over 2, and we still have equals 1. Alright, so let's see. Now I'm going to come up here and do a little think bubble. Because I have two angles. I have pi over 2 is one of them. Pi over 2 has an ordered pair of 0, 1. And so I know that cosine of pi over 2 is equal to what? 0. And sine of pi over 2 equals
1.
Alright. And then my other angle is 3 pi over 2. What is its ordered pair? 0, negative 1. So tell me, what is cosine of 3 pi over 2? And what is sine of 3 pi over 2? Alright, so I'm going to be able to plug those in now, right? And it didn't matter if I did all that in the think bubble or if I just put my ordered pairs up there so I could figure it out as I'm going through it. I just went and did that because I think it makes it a little easier. Alright, so cosine of x, it's just cosine of x, times, what's cosine of pi over 2? You told me up there in the think bubble it is 0, minus, we've got sine of x, times, what's sine of pi over 2? Okay, plus, we have cosine of x. And what is cosine of 3 pi over 2? So times 0, plus, we have sine of x, times, what is sine of 3 pi over 2? This is still equal to 1. Alright, so now we're multiplying. So what is cosine of x times 0? So we say it's gone. What's negative sine of x times 1? Good. What's cosine of x times 0? And what sine of x times negative 1? And we still have equals 1. They don't cancel. What's a negative sign minus sign? Negative 2 sine. Good. And still got equals 1. Divide by the negative 2. So sine of x equals negative 1/2. So this is where we use our unit circle. Is sine my x or my y? All right, so I'm looking for where on my unit circle is y equal to negative 1/2.
Y is equal to negative 1/2. 206 degrees.
7 pi over 6 and again 11 pi over 6. Now, are we restricted?
Yes.
Yes. So do I need to put plus 2 pi in?
No.
No. So these are my two answers.